Wife mad at me for trusting her. Throw rap. I'm 27 male, my wife is 25 female. Married 8 years. She recently made friends with some chick from her master's program. They mostly just play words with friends, but will occasionally get lunch. Last night, we were sitting on the couch together, and the friend sent her a Snapchat pic of her spreading her vag with her fingers. I laughed and said, "Why don't you send me pictures like that?" Then this conversation ensued. Wife, really? Me, no, of course not. I don't trust our phones enough to send that kinda stuff. Wife, that's not what I'm talking about. Me, are you mad at me? Wife, it's just a weird reaction. Like you don't even care. Me, I just assumed that there's a reasonable explanation for her sending that to you. Because I trust you. Wife, whatever. Me, if some girl sent me a pussy pic, you'd assume there was a reasonable explanation to write. Wife, no. Me, I guess I just trust you more than you trust me. Wife, you're pissing me off. Me with the trust stuff. Do you want me to trust you less? Then she got up and stormed into our room. She's been pissed at me all day and won't talk to me. I'm so confused. How do I keep my wife from being upset by me trusting her? As a woman, the only people I would not block, if they send me, that is my sister and best friend, but only if something was wrong with their vagina and they for real needed help. Other than that, I would be loaded iPhone up and a message to a spear open vag lol. But my best friend of 18 years has sent me boob and naked pictures to get approved to send her BF. But never has she not blocked out her naked vagina for my sake lol. And I sent her pics of my nip piercing after I got them done, cause she wanted to see. So I guess I'm saying it's not normal for most, but I guess close friends under certain circumstances certain naked body parts can be understand, but not that picture lol. Agreed. The only time I expect to open my phone and see a spread open vag pic is when someone is freaking TF out and I need to get them to the hospital to get checked out. But since this is just a casual friend of sorts, sounds sus, I think it was for sure an unwanted pic and she was creeped out. And her husband's blaze attitude rubbed her the wrong way. If I were her, I'd be wondering what his reaction would be if people sent him pics like that. Right. Unless the vagina is about to fall off, I don't need a picture lol. And if my BF looks over at my phone to see a spread open vag, I fully expect a couple questions. Not because he should have to, but because that is not a normal thing to do lol. I would also be a little weirded out if he didn't, because that means he sees this as normal and that's our issue. I would 100% ask my man questions if a friend sent him dick pictures, cause it's not a normal thing to do, laughing my butt off. She is probably weirded out and thinks you should be weirded out too. Have any male friends? Would it be weird if they sent you a dick pic? Maybe she would like you to comfort her, or maybe she is just upset about potentially losing a friend and is taking it out on you. These are just guesses. Assuming she isn't actually mad that you trust her. Exactly this. It is not a common thing for women to exchange pictures like this. I have never thought about doing so, because it just isn't a common or socially acceptable thing to do. I think OP ducked up by trying to reverse the situations. Unless OP is a doctor or something, there is no reasonable explanation for him to receive a similar picture, unless it's infidelity or an attempt to engage OP with inappropriate behavior. I completely trust my husband to remain faithful to me and our marriage, and I also trust my husband to set the boundaries necessary for that. I think OP is completely ignoring how this crossed a boundary. I find it very odd that you thought she would assume there was a reasonable explanation if you received a picture of another female's vagina. Very few women would think, oh, I'm sure there's an understandable reason this is happening. They would assume you had done something to encourage this behavior. And just to clear things up, it's not normal for females to send their gal pals pics of their vagina spread open. That's bizarre and not common occurrence. Saying all this, I think your wife reacted over the top, and it's likely she just wanted you to show some suspicion and jealousy so she would feel good, like you wanted to make sure no one else would steal her from you, etc. Your non-reaction annoyed her, it seemed. I don't think you did anything wrong, but just had to clear up your perceptions about what is normal in the world at the start of this post. I think they might be speaking past each other. Wife wants to hear husband say yeah. That is super weird. Why would she think this is okay? I'm very curious why this woman thought this was normal. OP wants to hear wife say, if you were sent a random unexpected vac pic I would know there is nothing I should worry about because I trust you. The other point most people missed is that your wife would like you to get angry and jealous because that would validate you really care for her and want her to stay with you. You not getting angry or jealous over someone sending a pic of their genitals is very much telling that you don't care enough to keep her. Doesn't matter if it was a male or female sender. Your wife is being sexually harassed and you don't care one whit. Maybe you should. I mean, if my husband was sent a dick pic, I'd want an explanation, whether it was or was not sexually meant. Look, there's trust and then there's complete lack of curiosity. Your wife is not mad that you trust her, but that you are using trust as an excuse to not even ask her WTF. Why did she do that? And for failing to recognize that no, this is not normal. Trust doesn't mean you don't ask completely obvious questions you should be asking. It's like asking what are you doing? If you find your wife hammering nails into the coffee table, it's not that you don't trust her if you ask. You just want her to know what's up. Same here. You don't even want to know what's up. That's weird to me, and you saying well I trust you over and over again is completely beside the point. Friends don't send friends pictures of the genitals for fun. It's a little baffling to me that you wouldn't ask your wife what the heck that was about. You're allowed to trust your wife, but damn dude, you're also allowed to ask why your wife is getting sent pictures of someone's vagina. If I got an unsolicited genital pic and my GF saw, I'd want her at least be creeped out by it or ask about it or something. Sending a picture of your vag to a married individual to be completely inappropriate. And no, women do not send pictures like that to each other. You should trust your wife because something inappropriate happened and she immediately let you know. But yeah, I think your reaction is weird. Somebody just violated some major boundaries towards your wife and tried to interfere in your marriage. You shouldn't be mad at your wife, but you should definitely be up in arms. The two of you need to be discussing how to manage this. She's not mad at you for not trusting her. She's mad at you for not recognizing the threat to your marriage and not helping her navigate this. She is also wondering if she can trust you to enforce boundaries in your marriage when it comes to other women. Because, yeah, if someone sent a vac picture to my significant other all heck would break loose. People are gonna do what they are gonna do, and I can't get mad at everyone for doing what they do. I trust my wife and I know that her friend doing that is not a threat to our marriage. Actually, I think you are the threat to your marriage. If I were your wife, I would have lost a lot of trust and respect for you based on your reaction. And I absolutely would not trust you to behave appropriately if someone sent you a vac picture because you don't recognize it for what it is. I get that you don't understand it, but I would ask you to consider that your wife is responding in a way you don't understand. If you actually care to understand her point of view, then you should consider points of views that don't initially make sense to you. Otherwise you are just trying to prove her wrong and that's a whole other issue. Edited for clarity. She clearly wants you to be a little jealous. Here, plenty of people in relationships see expressions of jealousy as healthy gestures of love. That's kinda messed up, but it's also not uncommon. As someone who keeps his insecurities to himself like an adult, I've found myself in odd positions where my partner is annoyed with me for not being jealous on more than one occasion. And it never fails to take me by surprise. Question: what would your reaction have been if someone sent your wife a raging boner instead? Secondary question: was your wife upset that her friend sent her a gross ass picture of her vagine? Because maybe she just wanted you to acknowledge that it's ducked up of her friend to send a close-up picture of her spreading her labia or whatever. Plenty of people in relationships see expressions of jealousy as healthy gestures of love. That's kinda messed up, but it's also not uncommon. I think it depends on the degree of jealousy. For example, if a guy would hit on me and my boyfriend didn't care at all, then I would be hurt because I would think that he doesn't care if he would lose me. On the other hand, extreme jealousy is annoying and just causes problems. A small amount of jealousy is in my opinion okay and sometimes good because it shows that the partner cares. That matches my experience. and I now make sure to occasionally express mild levels of non-controlling jealousy, assuming the situation wasn't manufactured specifically to that end. I think if my partner was pansexually attracted to women, I'd be a lot more squicked out about the picture, like switching things around a bit. If some guy sent me a picture of his penis, I'm sure my girlfriend would think that's weird and gross, but she wouldn't be jealous because she knows there's zero threat there. That said, if I was disturbed by it and she made a joke, I might be pissed off. This is gross and inappropriate, and you're over here asking for nudes. GTFOH. I think OP's GF is feeling something like that. She is probably upset that someone she thought was her friend is harassing her with unsolicited vagina pics. Her husband doesn't even care about it. She is probably legitimately upset about her friend crossing the line and you not siding with her. How do you not see this? I'm confused by your reaction or your odd claim you think that is what women do. You haven't noticed that your wife and her friend are in an EA and the friend wants a PA, and if you think the vag pic was random, you're wrong. It was planned to when and what time to send and see your reaction. Your wife wants Giz to seem as pranky yet incremental on her friend end. You throw her a monkey wrench and made her feel that when she cheats on you with her friend, you won't care enough and not even bother, and you inadvertently pushed her to start having the PA. Time to drop a keylogger on her phone and find out how far her affair has been. Good luck. Pretty sure you're the only one who even thought about it being an affair or at least posted about it being one. This is where my mind went as well. His wife might be feeling guilty, but doesn't know how she can tell her husband, and this was sent so that she could open up a dialogue with her husband about her affair. When she didn't get the reaction she wanted out of him, she got angry and frustrated because of a missed opportunity. It might be easier for her to answer the question, "Are you cheating on me?" as opposed to her telling him, "I'm cheating on you." Your wife's reaction to you was weird, but so was yours. If someone sent that to my wife, I would not be jealous, but I would say, WTF did she send that for? What is the story? Because there has to be one. That type of shot from a friend does not come out of the blue. It's not the lack of jealousy, but the lack of curiosity. At this point, if I were you, I would be a tad annoyed that she showed you this as she did it, assuming it would make you upset, and she was looking to get a rise out of you. Kind of a shitty thing to do, and she deserved to have it backfire on her, but you're both making much more out of this than you should. If somebody punched your wife, and you said ha, they'd need to hit you harder than that for you to worry about it. Would you be posting here asking, "Am I the a-hole for saying my wife has a high pain threshold?" I think you are serious misreading what your wife is annoyed about. What seems likely is that she had an unpleasant and traumatic experience, and used it as an opportunity to try to get nudes from her. I don't blame her saying that was a weird reaction. I would say it is probably a combo of misplaced anger and anger that you didn't have the reaction she was expecting. Let's be clear here. I know some women will send pics to each other in various states of undress, getting opinions and such. However, they don't send spread open vagina pics. That has one intention, and this was a massive overstep of the friend. Assuming the friend meant to even send it to your wife. So she was likely feeling a bit hurt by her friend, and you took the brunt of it when you had no reaction compared to what she assumed you would feel. Give her some time to cool off a bit. Ask her what's going on, and don't dismiss her feelings. Try to understand where she is coming from and work through it. Don't get defensive about it. Hi there, so I'm B, and let me tell you, it's really annoying to have people pretend that my same gender attraction isn't as valid or as real as my different gender attraction. The biggest example of this is when a different gender potential partner tries to tell me they would be okay with me hooking up with someone of my same gender while in a relationship, because it's not really cheating to them. That makes it clear that they don't see same gender attraction as a real part of me, or that they don't think someone of the same gender would be a real candidate for a relationship with me, or that they see me being bi as a fun feature for them that they can get something read a threesome out of. I don't know if your wife is maybe bi and coming up against that feeling, or if maybe she's not bi, but it's a similar sentiment with slightly different logic behind it. Anyway, I don't think the takeaway here should be she's mad that I trust her. Rather, I suspect she might be feeling like you're dismissing something out of hand when it really should be a concern because you might have, or she might think you have, a preconceived notion about how women are. She might be insulted that you don't see a woman doing blatantly sexual things for her as a threat because it's a woman. She might also be uncomfortable with what her friend is doing and might have hoped you would stand up for her or help her put a stop to it. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.